Welcome back to NCCU Football's Your Brand, Your Way, where we highlight our former student athletes and their success with life after football. This is our second series of Your Brand, Your Way. It's homecoming on the campus of North Carolina Central University. Big game this weekend, and I got some special guests here. That's right, I said guests, not just one guest, but I got some special guests here today. Come on, let me show you who these special guests are. That's right, that's right, yeah, that's right, Carl Jones, that's right, Carl Jones. It ain't over with yet, it ain't over with yet. Trey Smith, hold on, I got one more. Who we got? Malcolm Bell. NCCU Football's Your Brand, Your Way, bringing it to you. Former student athletes here, successful, doing their thing. We're gonna bring it to you today. It's homecoming weekend. Get ready. All right, back on campus. It's homecoming weekend. Big game on Saturday. And I got some thoroughbreds here with me, some championship football players, guys that did it on the field and are doing it in life. Go ahead and tell the people, go ahead and tell our viewers and all our fans and our alum what's going on with you now in life and what do you guys have going on and how was that transition?
Okay, so what's going on, Eagle family? My name is Trey Smith. I am a 2016 graduate, criminal justice major while I was at Central. And just excited to do the Life After Football interview. Currently, right now, I work for the United States Secret Service, a publisher, an author, and I do a few other things on the side.
Outstanding.
All right. Malcolm Bell, 2016 graduate, criminal justice major, three-time MEAC champion. Right now, I am currently one of the top quarterback trainers on the East Coast and out of Richmond, Virginia. So it's been a great journey so far.
My name is Carl Jones. I'm a 2016 graduate of the NCCU School of Business, where I earned my degree in accounting. I currently serve as a global accountant for Bayer in our crop sciences division, where I support South American business.
So guys, just the first question we're going to start this off with. What has been the biggest challenge for you guys transitioning from life after football, reintegrating back into society? What has been the biggest challenge for you?
I guess I can start. For me, it'll be the transition from playing sports your entire life, being team-oriented, working in a team environment, and then going to work kind of at a desk job, so to speak, and being an individual contributor. Kind of just that transition, maybe sitting at a desk most of your day, not being active, not working with a lot of other people. That was probably the roughest part of my transition.
For me, it was really understanding that everything in life is now magnified. In college and even high school and things like that, you're kind of under a bubble where mistakes are not as great, where you have people that can guide you through them and help you through them and guide you along the way. But as an adult, and when you have to make your own choices, your own situations that you go through, a lot of the mistakes that fall on are magnified, and so you have to learn how to deal with those things.
Outstanding.
Yeah, and I would say, I guess the challenges that you face as far as time management at school is kind of drawn out for you. When you get to the real world, it's really not. You got to find things to put in that place. So it's just been, a good journey putting things in place.
Outstanding. So with teams, you got to support one another, and I'm pretty sure you guys know all about support. Back-to-back MEAC champions. You guys know all about having a strong support system. Who would you guys say played a major part in you guys' life during that transition? Like, where did a lot of your support come from? Was it family? Was it friends? And it could be support from any level, mental support, financial support, or just being there when you needed a listening ear. Who played a major part?
I'd say first and foremost my parents. They allowed me to come home and actually get my business started. They, put money towards it and helped me out a lot, and I really appreciate them for it. A couple of other people, Mr. Joseph Aquay, he helped me get involved at Trinity Episcopal School. I'm currently also a teacher there, so I work there, and it's just been great.
Outstanding.
For me, like Malcolm said, we have to give reverence to our parents. No matter what, our parents are always there. No matter how old we get, our parents are always helping us transition. In terms of Central, I would say that Miss Vault, who is now Mrs. Williams, she helped me, as well as Kent Williams and Career Services. They definitely helped me stay on track. They're kind of those two people that made sure that we had phone calls and I wasn't becoming lackadaisical and things of that nature. And I also gotta give credit to my teammates, even Carl, Malcolm are here, and you know, we always keep up on each other and make sure that, you know, we're not being lackadaisical and slacking on our work, and that we're always progressing. So
now we're gonna get into a little bit about these guys, what they do on a daily basis. Malcolm, go ahead and tell everybody what's the most fun part of your job? Why do you enjoy doing it? And where do you see yourself? Did you see yourself getting into it when you were in college, or was it something that kind of came about afterwards?
Yeah, so I like just the community part about it, being able to reach out to different parts of the community, different areas, reaching out to young quarterbacks, old quarterbacks, things like that.
You trying to create the next Malcolm Bell. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to create the next Malcolm Bell in training. This is your guy. This is your guy.
Yeah, so, you know, I want to make them better than me. I teach them some things that I've never done before. You know, teach them some things that sometimes I created bad habits, and I don't want them to create those bad habits, so I kind of stop it in their tracks as soon as they start. Yeah.
Outstanding, great. Now look now, this man right here is in the Secret Service. Okay, so it's certain stuff that we probably can't ask him.
very true. Very
we probably cannot ask him. So as vanilla as possible.
Right.
Give us a day-to-day. What do you enjoy? Did you see yourself getting into it while you were here playing football?
Right. So I definitely saw myself getting into federal law enforcement as I, you know, matriculated through college and things of that nature. I studied criminal justice, concentration in law enforcement. I've known I want to be in law enforcement for a long time, and so to, you know, be able to reach that goal at such a young age. When I first got into the Secret Service, I was the youngest black male in the Secret Service. So those are definitely achievements that, you know, I don't take for granted. I don't take lightly. And for, you know, just my everyday, we're more of a protection-based law enforcement agency. But what I love about it is really just the travel, the different things. It's more so, it's almost like seeing history, like, as it happens. As you know, being a president can make decisions and choices. Congress and senators, all those people can make choices that you see firsthand for yourself. So I think that's the most exciting part of my day, just seeing history happen right in front of your eyes.
So my day-to-day, I'm a numbers guy, I work in accounting, so we close the books on a monthly basis, we reconcile the balance sheet and analyze data, make decisions that affect our income statement, bottom line. As far as what do I enjoy the most about my job, it's two things, and one is kind of the why behind I do my work. I work for Bayer on the agricultural side, so essentially we're trying to feed the world. World hunger is a big deal. I think in the U.S. We're very fortunate. We don't get to see some of the issues that are facing the world. Our population is expected to be about 10 billion by 2050, so we got about 2 million more mouths to feed in the next 30 years. But the world's not growing, so we've got to find a way to increase the yield on our crop based on the land we have so far. God's not creating any more land. So that puts real meaning behind the work that I do. The second part about my job I like the most is the impact that I have. I work with millions and sometimes billions of dollars in accounts. And knowing that at such a young age I have such a big influence on the company, it puts true meaning behind my work.
All right, we are back, and we brought it back to the weight room, where all the blood, sweat, and tears, and everything comes together, where these guys turn into men. I'm here with Malcolm Bell. When did you become Malcolm Bell here at North Carolina Central University? When did you know that, you know what, I've arrived, and this is my show now? Because it was a point in time where it was the Malcolm Bell show. Don't let them tell you anything different. Go ahead.
I'd have to say Charlotte 2014.
Okay.
I wasn't the starter then.
Okay.
Just, you know, on the sideline preparing as a starter. I finally got my opportunity. I think in 2 quarters I threw for probably like 300 yards. So
I remember that game.
After that point, you know, I felt like, you know, this is the direction we're going in, and I really have to start, you know, preparing myself for it.
Right. Taking on that leadership role,
right.
Understanding like, okay, this is the deal now. I got to start preparing a little bit different. Trey Smith, first question I have for you is, when you found out that you were one of the youngest African American males to be a Secret Service, how did you feel? Who did you tell? And from a mental and physical atmosphere, what did you feel? How did you feel as a man?
Right. Well, it was hard because I really couldn't tell anybody.
Right, right.
Because it's one of my jobs is one of those things where I can't really just, you know, hey, I work for, so, you know. But in terms of how I felt, it definitely was a humbling experience for me. Not only was I able to reflect on my life and all my accomplishments and my hard work that I put into where I am now, but it was definitely a eye-opener to how far I can go if I work harder. And so it definitely, I have to work harder in terms of how I position myself, the things I do, how I approach things, because no matter where you are, people are going to look at you in a certain way when you are younger. They don't think you know a lot. They don't think you've had enough experience. And so that you have to put a lot of more effort into things you do, subconsciously and consciously, for people to recognize that you are about business. And so
you got to carry yourself in a different manner.
Exactly, exactly. And so for me, it was just, making sure that I keep my head straight and do what I have to do. And I really don't think about it as much as some people would think, but I definitely reflect on it sometimes.
It's definitely an amazing accomplishment, man. It's huge. You only see roles and jobs like that on TV.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And to actually be in the presence of somebody who's doing it and who's living it is huge, and that's a blessing within itself. Carl, your tenure here, one of the things I noticed as a former offensive lineman is I seen you kind of transition into that role of being the quarterback of the O-line and really developing a chemistry with those guys. And there was a point in time, man, where coaches didn't have to tell you guys anything. It just was a level of expectation from you guys and the O-line. How did you guys merit and develop that chemistry? And talk about the dedication and just the up and down roller coaster that you guys had to go through to get that.
Kind of like what you said, just a roller coaster. I think we all came in together, class of 2012. We started out with 8 freshman offensive linemen, which is a pretty large number for a recruiting class. Came in together after a 2-9 season. We had a couple rough patches the first 2 years, but essentially just the process we went through, man. We lived together in the dorms, we ate together every day, worked out together. Just being around each other. By the time you look up 4 or 5 years later, we're clicking on one accord, and we were unstoppable at one point.
Brothers,
man.
two brothers, right?
It was crazy, man. I talked to those guys daily, man. Those would probably be the guys in my wedding, things like that. So it was a natural bond. It wasn't forced. It was love. So I can't really say that specifically anything we did. I think just the time and the process that we went through together, it molded us to be brothers.
Now, you talked about being one of the top quarterback trainers on the East Coast. MEAC champion, starter, broke all kind of records here. Let's just keep it clear. Did you ever see yourself during that time being a top quarterback trainer, getting guys ready to do the same thing that you did?
I would say also my sophomore year.
Okay.
Me and my boy Tony Tate used to, just sit and think about things that we didn't have back in Richmond, Virginia, and that one thing was a quarterback trainer. And
wow.
I didn't have quarterback training when I was there. I had, coaches in high school that were pointing me in the right direction as a quarterback, but I didn't have somebody that would give me specific instructions on how to be very, very good and efficient. So I just wanted to bring that back to Richmond, Virginia, and it just turned out to be something very, very
amazing.
huge.
North Carolina Central University is a community service-based school, and we require community service. And you guys did a great job of doing community service. Are you still involved in the community now, wherever you're at? And what are some of the things you do for community service, and how important is that to you?
For sure, definitely. So I live in St. Louis, Missouri now. Through my fraternity, we have a program called Omega Squares, which is a youth mentoring group for middle school and high school kids. Essentially the same goal as most programs: keep kids out of trouble, keep them in something positive. We meet every Saturday. We do different activities, whether it be test prep, whether it be step practices for the kids, they perform things like that, whether it be college readiness. Even outside of college readiness, we have people come in from different trades and come in and teach them about maybe being a mechanic or being an electricity lineman, things like that. Show them different routes, keep them out of the streets essentially. So I deal with that pretty much. That's where a lot of my time is spent on Saturdays. And then we're actually collaborating with some other youth groups in the city. We're going to put together an initiative coming up the next year in 2019. So that's kind of where my focus is right now, putting together a collaboration event, and then we're going to do like a youth symposium for the city coming up soon.
That's great.
It's really big. I do a lot of stuff in the community with just football. I reach out to youth organizations and things like that. I make guest appearances. I might go out and coach a quarterback, and it doesn't have to be for any money. It's just for me going out and just showing them the way. And sometimes it's just they don't need specific quarterback instruction. They just need confidence. They just want somebody to know that they're a good player.
Community service is essential for all our communities. Different, whether it's the demographic or the ethnicity, that's the difference. It's very important because there are people that are younger than us that are going to take the roles that we're in now. So we have to make sure that they are doing what they need to do. And so, currently I have my own business called Expand the Kingdom. It is a Christian-based foundation business, and I do a lot of motivational speaking. I go all over the country speaking at churches, high schools, middle schools, really talking about, and I'm geared towards young men, but I also speak to young ladies as well. Exactly. But just setting the right foundation, knowing how to be a man, knowing how to lead, knowing how to do the things you need to do in life to get where you want to go.
It's definitely imperative, man. I mean, we're in some trying times now. We're living in some different times now where guys need guidance. Guys need role models that look like them. Guys need role models that have been through similar situations. So, and that type of process that you went through, in what ways did that kind of prepare you for life and let you know that, you know, you can get through the tough times and let you know that, hey, you know what, I've been through the fire. This is the calm. How does that help you out?
For sure, I think that helped a lot with where I am now, and I think some of that comes with what the coaches instilled in us. I like to say if you have the why behind what you're doing, the how will come on its own. So with football, the why, you want to win championships, you want to win now. So the weights, the workouts, that's the how. That'll come as long as you keep your eyes on the vision. So and that's for football. And in the classroom, you're trying to graduate. You want to have a good GPA. You want to get a job. So if you understand that, going to class, going to the library, studying, will come naturally because you know it's helping you get to the end goal.
You got to buy in.
Exactly. And the same thing with your career. Wherever you see yourself in 10, 15, 20 years, wherever you want to end up, you got to put those small steps in now. So that's kind of the transition for me.
What do you say for somebody who wants to be the next Trey Smith? And what I mean by that is that somebody who wants to follow in your footsteps, maybe work federal law enforcement, be a student athlete, what's some advice that you could give them when it comes to a level of focus and the amount of discipline that you had to have? What's some of the advice that you can give them?
I would just say know what you want to do. Find your purpose, find your passion, know what you want to do. Because when you know what you want to do, it's a lot easier to do it. You don't have to worry about the naysayers. You don't have to worry about the criticism. You don't have to worry about the negativity. Because you understand your vision. As long as you understand your
living
vision
for yourself
and your dreams, people will start to believe it once you start to walk in it. And so I would just say continue to, if you believe in that's something you want to do, that's what you want to love to do, believe in yourself and continue going forward towards it. And eventually, if it doesn't happen when you want it to, it'll eventually happen if you keep moving at it.
That's outstanding. That's outstanding. Okay, last question. 10 years from now, where do you see yourself?
Married.
Okay.
Definitely. I'm currently engaged.
Outstanding, man. That's what black love. That's huge.
all
That's
day long.
huge.
All day long. So, you know, kids, possibly overseas working, doing different things and stuff like that. Moving forward in my business. I mean, my fiance have different ministries and blogs together as well. So,
outstanding.
Definitely just a variety of things where it's my personal life and career I'm concerned.
Right. That's great. That's outstanding. When it comes to, you know, one thing about you, Carl, is that when you were, and coaches echoed these same things, when you were here at North Carolina Central University, you were always a stellar student athlete. You always had great grades. You were what coaches like to call a low maintenance guy. Somebody they did not have to worry about. He was going to buy into the system. He was going to do exactly what you asked of him in the classroom and on the field. What advice do you have for somebody that's trying to follow in those similar footsteps? For the next Carl Jones, maybe. What's the advice? Talk about the level of dedication that you had to have. Talk about the sacrifice. What did you do to get there?
For me, how that, I guess that process started for me was when I came here. It was two things that I wanted to accomplish, and they weren't anything crazy. One was I wanted to graduate, and two, I wanted to keep my scholarship. I couldn't be that kid that comes home after 2 years, oh, I got put out of school, oh, I got put off the team. So I made sure I did everything I needed to in the classroom, on the field, in the community, to make sure my name was never on a list for anything bad. So that's kind of where it started.
Now, everybody wants to know this, and I've been getting phone calls all day long. You single?
Oh, I'm single for probably 10 years, man. I'm scared. I'm scared of that stuff.
There it is. All right, there it is.
I'm scared of that stuff, man.
Okay, you scared of it. Okay, all right.
I'm single, yes, sir.
Where does Carl Jones see himself at in 10 years from now?
Ooh, that's a tough question. 10 years, I don't necessarily have a position or a title or somewhere that I want to see myself. I think it's more of a feeling. I think I want to be the best me that I can be in whatever capacity I'm serving.
That's outstanding. That's
I want
great.
to be a model citizen in society. I want to be a brother to my friends' family. I want to be a model son. I want to be contributing, adding value to whatever I'm doing. Just having influence and being able to contribute in whatever facet or wherever I might be.
Man, like Carl said, I mean, I really don't have a title.
Right.
It's, you know, maybe opening a facility, having a facility open, and you know, making Richmond, Virginia a headquarter location for quarterback training, and just being a better person. You know, just
Right.
growing myself, growing my business, just
Right.
you know, making all the right decisions.
Right, taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
Well, look, you were a champion here. You did a lot of things here at this university. You're a champion off the field as well. You're doing great things on behalf of North Carolina Central football. And I'm pretty sure every single person in this school, we want to present you with the Nothing Comes Easy shirt, because you are a true testament of Nothing Comes Easy. NCCU
it.
football loves
Thank
you.
you.
I love you, man. Thank you for coming on the
Thank you,
show,
Travis.
okay? Thank you. There you have it, folks. Your Brand, Your Way, NCCU Football's blog series that highlights our football student athletes and their life after football. Malcolm Bell, Trey Smith, Carl Jones. 3 football student athletes who've done exceptionally well here at North Carolina Central University. They're legends on and off the field. They've helped curate and create the program that's standing here today. It's a true testament that really shows you that, hey, you can do it. Put your mind to it. You can do what you want to do. Put in the time, put in the efforts, and grind it out. And you really, truly can be a legend of your university. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. Again, I'm Travis Taylor, Director of Football Operations here at the North Carolina Central University. This is Your Brand, Your Way. Thank you for tuning in.